It's never too late to make a difference.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun.
Hello, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Namamoto Vlogs. This is Tawfiq here, back with another video. So as today is a Sunday, I didn't go for any ride today, but we have a program at Kantirva Stadium. That's the Java annual meet, which they are conducting it from past 15 years. Every year they'll conduct the Java bikers meet. So we have got an invitation for that meet. We, in the sense, we the motovloggers, around 7 motovloggers are going for that meet, which is going to happen in Kantirva Stadium. So now I'm heading to Sankey Road, as Demon Rides is coming there, and we both will ride together to Kantirva Stadium. So I'm heading to Sankey Road, where I'll meet Demon and we both will ride together. So we are riding towards Kantirva Stadium. Demon is there in front. Gate number 3. Gate number 3. This gate only, I guess. Yeah, this one.
My name is Kaustubh. I am part of SD Java Owners Club of India, one of the oldest clubs in the country for these SDs and Javas. Today we are here at Bangalore celebrating the International Java SD Day. It's a day celebrated on second Sunday of July globally. It is celebrated everywhere. Java is a Czech brand, and one of the oldest companies, one of the first companies to come in India to get motorcycles in India, even before Royal Enfields came in. So if you go and ask back your home, your grandfathers, your uncles, somebody must have ridden a SD or a Java at least once in a lifetime. Hoga hi wo. So Java came in India as a Czech brand, was having a factory at Mysore as Ideal Java. There were Indian owners. After a few period, the name was changed to SD because of licensing issues and everything, but it's basically the same thing. So when I say SD and Java,
used to get confused.
yeah, so Java is basically what the Czech, the original principal name is. SD is what the Indian company name is, but inside it's one and the same thing. It's a 2-stroke machine. Java's never ever made 4-stroke engines. It was always 2 strokes. It's only now that they've started making 4-stroke, which are yet to come in India.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we are here at Bangalore. SD Java Club has organized this event. This is one of the largest Java clubs in the country with more than 5,000 members.
Okay.
So you can imagine there are still so many bikes running in the country. You might not see them on the roads because घर में रखा होगा, parking में रखा होगा, or people are not riding it. But there are bikes and they are in pretty good condition. Today we expect close to around 500-600 bikes. We are attempting a Guinness record of getting maximum number of ESDs, not Javas. Maximum number of ESDs today. This is first sort of attempt that is done anywhere in the country, or no other brand has attempted for maximum number of bikes in Guinness. So this is going to be the first attempt, and I think we are going to do it. So I'm pretty confident. This company shut down in 96. So there was nothing available after 96. No spares were manufactured, no support from the company, no service centers. So whatever has been running is what was last made till all these years, and these bikes are still running. So I would say the youngest bike today would be at least 21 years old. Youngest bike today would be at least 21 years old, and we could have oldest bikes from 50s or 60s, which we are talking of already 50 years. So that's more than 5 decades. The tagline what Ideal Java had for these bikes was forever bike, forever value. And it says everything. The bikes are still there. One of the good things with these bikes is the design is very, very simple. It's got very less parts. We'll go and start one of the bikes there. I'll try and catch someone who will start it for us. And in no way these bikes were inferior in technology in those days. So there are certain things which are unique only to Javas and ESDs, which is not possible with Enfields, KTMs, anything. So I'll show you a lot of things today. Let's go from
And I've heard this one thing, there is only one tool that can remove the complete engine. Is that true?
No, but you require very less number of tools. So if you do it once by yourself and you know what tool goes where, you can easily put it back next time on your own. So this, the original designer, the owner himself was a designer. He used to design guns and ammunitions for Czech government for till Second World War. Then he decided to have an economical motorcycle, because those days the only two motorcycles that were popular for army was BMWs and the British bikes, and they were super expensive. Czechoslovakia, those days it was Czechoslovakia, now it is divided into Czech Republic and Slovakia. Czechoslovakia was this side of the Germany, so this side of the wall, if you know the history, the world was divided into two parts. East Germany, West Germany had divided the entire world in two parts. So you could not get anything from West Germany. So getting a BMW was first of all not possible. If you managed it, it was very expensive. So this guy said, okay, let me make a motorcycle which my country, my people can use it, soldiers can use it. So he made a design which was affordable. He made a design which was reliable, rugged, soldiers can use it. He made a design which could run on multiple fuels. You might have heard Javas run on kerosene also. And there could be some more. And of course the design has minimalistic parts. There are a lot of designs on the bike which ensures that even if something goes wrong, you can still manage to reach back to your destination. So like there's an auto clutch function, you don't need to engage the clutch to change gears. If the clutch wire breaks, you can still change the gears comfortably. Cool. Let's go.